Titus 1 and 5. Read that.
The book of Titus, chapter 1 and verse 5. For this cause left I thee in Crete, that thou shouldest set in order the things that are wanting.
The Most High is all about order. He's not about confusion. He says, you men, set the things in order that are found what?
Wanting.
Meaning lacking. Whatever's lacking, set it in order. Go ahead.
And ordain elders in every city.
And that's what we're doing. So we are living the Bible. We are living the Bible according to the prophecy. All right? The things that are lacking. That's where you brothers come in, and the women have to be set in order. As you men come in order, because they're going to follow your example, brothers. That's why, what do women always do? You want me to get in order? Nigga, you ain't in order. Look at you. That's what happens. So you brothers, get yourself right. Once you get right there, you can turn to your flesh. Sister, you out of order. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Because guess how you men are going to be judged? According to your household. According to your wives. How many of you men have unbelieving wives? Raise your hand. Only one. Okay. Two. Okay, all righty then. Well, you have a job to do. You have a big job. Now, Titus 2 and 2. Thank you.
The book of Titus, chapter 2 and verse 2. That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers.
Not gossip. And a false accuser is a liar, a gossiper. Go ahead.
Not given to much wine.
A drunkard.
Teachers of good things.
So the sisters must be teachers of good things. It doesn't mean she sits in a class like we have here and she's going, read, sister. Not that. She's supposed to set forth the right example according to the law. Read.
That they may teach the young woman.
And they're supposed to be instructing these younger sisters that come in after them.
To be sober.
To be sober. Not drunk, not high. That's what sober means. Not drunk, not high. Go ahead.
To love their husbands.
They got to be taught how to love their husbands.
To love their children.
Because them two things don't come natural. The black woman likes to think it comes natural. Who was watching the news the other day? What's going on in New York? You saw that I thought? The black woman left her baby in a carriage at the edge of the platform and walked away. And the next one, what she do? She suffocated the 11-month-old baby with a sheet and walked out. She likes to think she loves her children. She likes to think she knows how to love a man. That don't, no, you got to be taught that thing. And every brother in here got different likes. We all don't like the same thing. She asked her, well, sister, what's your husband like? Well, he don't like what your husband like. What you asking that for? That comes with communication with your husband. Give me that 1 Timothy 3.
1 Timothy 3 and verse 11. Even so must their wives be grave.
The word grave there means serious. During the 60s, the black woman and the Latin woman stuck by their man. Once the feminist movement came in, it destroyed the black family. And a black woman to this day has not found that out. You got Beyonce singing, what's that song she got? Independent Woman. The white woman whispering in her ear to divide the family. A white man came in offering welfare. Public assistance, Section 8. But what is the stipulation for them to get them things? No man. No man at home. The black woman has not figured that was a trap to destroy her family. To this day, they walk around with fatherless children. Where the baby daddy? I don't know. I'm going to get a check. Read that.
Even so must their wives be grave.
So in order to restore this nation, our nation, it says their wives must be serious. The word grave means serious. Go ahead.
Not slanderers.
Not slanderers. Gossipers.
Sober.
Like you see the TV show, what's that? Atlanta Housewives. Or you got, what's another one? The one married with doctors. Medicine with doctors. What is that called?
Married to Medicine.
Married to Medicine. And there's another one.
Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, there's a Christian one too.
Oh, LA, Preachers of LA.
Preachers of LA.
Yeah.
Their wives, everything the Bible says don't be, this is what they be. Read that again?
Not slanderers.
Not slanderers, and they slander each other on all these shows. Go ahead.
Sober.
And they're drunkards. Drunk women running around the screen. Go ahead.
faithful in all things.
The women, as they repent, must be faithful in how many things?
All things.
All things. So I know some of you brothers want to give your wife a slide. She accepts some things, brother. Some things she don't. It says she's going to be faithful in all things. That's going to be a cross you got to bear. You brothers, don't get sad. Don't get sad.
1 Timothy 3 and verse 6.
Yes.
Not a novice, lest being lifted up with...
Jump up to 5. I think I want the one about the family. Where's that?
Verse 4.
Verse
4. Okay.
One that ruleth well his own house.
I want the one that said, for man who not.
Oh, verse 5.
Verse 5. Thank you.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God?
So the first thing for you married men is your family, your house. If you ain't married yet, you ain't got no fun. That's fine. So in the meanwhile, y'all should be taking the necessary steps. Because just like in the world, brothers got game, guess what? Women come in, they got game too. He think he gonna get me in order. Brothers look around and say all they want is the box from the women. Well, some women just want the magic stick. That's it. They ain't about nothing. They ain't about nothing. Read that again.
For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God?
So there's a big difference from the women of the past, from the 60s, and the women of today. Look at it, it's like night and day. During the 60s, you see the women, they had, number one, they had skirts on. They stood by their husbands. They got water hosed. Dogs sicked on them. Is that a word? Sicked on them? Yeah. They got popped upside their head in the restaurants. They were side and side with us. Not today, though. Not today. I'm an independent woman. I don't need you. Where'd she get that from? The white man. Now the family's all broken up. And that she go on TV, that nigga ain't no good. He ain't right. But she got to get in order like the man got in order. And you brothers, that's the cross you got to bear, getting that family in order. Now watch this. Revelation 14 and 4. Y'all know this.
The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with woman.
This is what Christ is looking for. Read it again.
These are they which were not defiled with woman.
What does it mean? These are they which were not defiled with women. Remember, we're reading the last book of the Bible, right? He said, these are they which were not defiled by women. What happened in the beginning of the Bible?
He was sinned by woman. Eve sinned and had him sin.
Right. Eve convinced Adam to sin. So the Most High don't want men who are listening to the woman in his ear, do this, do that. Yes, dear. He can't use you. He can't use you. Read that again, Captain.
These are they which were not defiled with woman.
Because back in the day, Eve came with philosophy that she got from who? The story is repeating itself. The history is repeating itself. The black woman is Eve. She is listening to doctrines coming from her oppressor. And she's whispering it in your ear. No, don't. The Bible says beat your child on the door. We don't got to do that. The white man says time out. Do that. And that little time out boy is tearing stuff up. Okay? She's saying she don't need you. Okay? Destroy the family. And it's repeating itself. That's why Christ had to step in. Read that again.
These are they which were not defiled with women.
Go ahead.
For they are virgins.
So somebody might get confused with that. What it means? You don't have a wife? What does that mean for their virgins?
When it says that they were virgins, meaning they weren't defiled by other doctrines.
Right.
They stayed according to the scriptures.
Where do the doctrines many times come from? The woman. Right, the woman. Give me that 1 Corinthians 11. 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, that one. Y'all know what I want. Where are we going?
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 2. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy.
Right, because remember in Exodus, the Most High said he is what kind of a God?
Jealous.
A jealous God. He did not want us worshiping anything else but him. So Paul says he's jealous over us with a God. I'll read that again.
For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy.
Go ahead.
For I have espoused you to one husband.
I have espoused you to one husband.
That I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ.
See that? So that was Paul talking to the men. So, does that mean, I'm going back to, does that mean you will not be married? No. No. Why? Because Peter, who was the head of the apostles, right? Did he have a wife? Mark 1 and 30.
Mark 1 and verse 30. But Simon's wife's mother
Talking about his mother-in-law, because Simon Peter had a wife, right?
lay sick of a fever, and anon they tell him of her.
So they told Christ that Peter's mother-in-law was sick. So, it don't mean that you're not going to be married. Go back to Revelation 14:4 again.
These are they which were not defiled with woman, for they are virgins.
So that don't mean you're not having a wife, not having sex. It's not talking about that. It's talking about doctrines, philosophies. That's what it means. They are virgins. They are pure in the eyesight of the Lord.
These are they which were not defiled with woman, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
So the Lord's looking for men that's going to do what this Bible says, whatever it says. Not make excuses. Well, let me go ask my wife. She don't believe, and I can't do this because she said I got to come home by 7. The Lord can't use you. He can't use you. Was that it?
These were redeemed from among men.
Right, because the 144,000 is men. Men. Go ahead.
Being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb.
Right. Was that it?
No, that's it.
Go to 1 Corinthians 7.
1 Corinthians 7 and verse 11.
So now, before we read this, get me 2 Corinthians 6 and 14 about don't be unequally yoked that way. Is it 2 Corinthians or 1st? All right. I had it right.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
Stop. Married men, unmarried. Single brothers, raise your hands. Single brothers. There's only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Read it again. Wait. Single sisters, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
No, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Read this again for all of them.
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
That's the message for us, especially you single brothers, single sisters. Do not go out into the world and look for a mate. A lot of y'all make mistakes like that. There's a brother from Atlanta who made that mistake. He saw the big butt and a smile, and the girl was damn poison. He ended up going to jail.
I can
behind
convert
that.
her.
Yeah, I can convert. I got the magic scripture. No, you don't. He lay down with her. She said, I ain't listening to that daggone Bible. Now he fighting, beating her upside the head. And his sister's the same way. My stuff is so good, I can convert him. No, she's simple as hell. Simple as hell. You ain't going to convert nobody. Was that it, Captain?
For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?
Right, so the Lord doesn't want us doing that. Mixing with unbelievers.
A lot of time when you do that, you put more burden into yourself. There you go, you coming in, you trying to learn this thing, you trying to meditate on it. You got an unbeliever. Now you got to go teach her. You trying to learn yourself. You put an extra burden. But if the sister already converted, she already know what the application. You don't have to do too much. You just have the sister study as you teaching her.
Right. So now, 1 Corinthians 7, listen good. 1 Corinthians 7 is talking about brothers and sisters who are married when they hear the truth. There's one spouse is a believer. This chapter is not talking about people in the world. It's talking about a brother or sister who is married, who hears the truth and believes. That's what this whole chapter is dealing with. Start at verse 12.
Verse 12. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away.
Now, there was a camp in Connecticut, and there's some camps to this day, even in Manhattan, that teach you can celebrate Passover and your wife can celebrate Easter. You celebrate Feast of Dedication, your wife celebrate Christmas. Is that what this is talking about?
No.
I'm going to give you the proof. Read verse 14.
Verse 14.
Watch, here's the proof that ain't talking about that.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy.
Who can pick up in that verse that it's not saying your unbelieving spouse can do what he or she wants to do, and a believer can do whatever he wants to do? There's something in that verse. That's the point. That is the point. Else were your children unclean. Because if you're celebrating Passover and she's celebrating Christmas, your children will be what? Unclean, which is confused. Daddy celebrate one thing, mommy celebrates something else I don't understand. You understand? Thank you. So go back up to verse 12.
Verse 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away.
Let's deal with the pleased to dwell with him. So now that we understand, if you got two parties teaching two separate things in a house, your children are confused. They're unclean, correct?
Yes.
So now let's deal with if she be pleased to dwell with him. She may not believe the Bible, but she's going to do what the Bible says because she loves who? You, that husband, that man, or vice versa. Well, I don't believe this, but I want to keep our marriage together, so I'm going to do this. I ain't going to eat no pork. What you say I got to do? Okay, I'm going to follow this. Although they don't believe it. They're just doing it to keep the family together. You understand? That's what Paul is discussing here. Read on.
And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
Right, because by her example, by her conversation with you, it may win you over. It may win the unbeliever over. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. Go ahead.
And the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
Why? How? Through the conversation, through his example. Go ahead.
Else were your children unclean.
Because if you didn't do that, your children would be confused, meaning unclean. Go ahead.
But now are they holy.
Because the children are holy now because both parents are setting the same example. Everybody understand that? Yes, sir. All right. Go ahead.
But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases.
So now Paul comes back. If the unbeliever leaves, let him go. Don't fight to keep them. Let them go. It says a brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases. The bondage is marriage. They're not bound in that marriage any longer. So we all understand what we're talking about. That's a brother or sister who's married and they hear this truth and come in. They say today that marriage is a foreign institution when it comes to black women. They said there are more single black women than any other race because black women cannot get married. I'm going to tell you why. Get Ecclesiastes 25:1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified, and stood up beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
A man and a wife that agreed together. When divorce was on the rise with white folks, white women said, let's have sports parties for our husbands. Let's have sports parties for our husbands. That's what they did. And white women would throw parties to keep their man. She got involved in sports to keep her man. Black women, having a lot of pride, they see you brothers come in, you're into the Bible. She wants to keep the marriage together. What should she be involved in?
The Bible.
The Bible. But pride. I'm not, no. No, I don't believe that. I don't want to be involved in that. So it causes divorce. Pride. Pride. The Bible says a man and a woman that agree together is beautiful in the eyesight of the Lord. She got to be involved with what you like. Your talk is the Bible. She got to get her talk in the Bible. She got to read. She don't want to read, hun. That's going to keep the marriage together. You can't be talking scriptures. She talking about Atlanta Housewives or Essence Magazine or them other women foolishness things out there. You talking about nationhood, nation time. She talking about, look what the white man done made for us. What the hell is this?
A lot of time when you deal with marriage, a lot of time the brother Deacon Malachi just talking about. Is the brother sometimes, the brother is not right. When he get inside the house, he ain't right. So their sister, that's why she see, inside the house is a hypocrite spirit. They go tell her sister doing this, you not doing it. But among brother, he's all shalom, most ain't quite blessed. But you're trying to build a spirit at home. But you still do the same thing you used to do in the world, nothing has changed. Same guys you used to be friends with, nothing changed. Then how you expect that sister now to come in your side? It make no sense. The example have to come through you. The example have to come through you. You can never want the sister to reform when you don't reform. You understand? You are a hypocrite. You ain't right. You understand, buddy? Brother, what happened to your wife? I don't know. She got the devil in her. But in the house, man, that's not going on. You got the devil in the house. She got the devil in the house. You know, she in the devil's spirit. But we have to play the example, man. We can no longer be in a hypocrite among one another. You understand? That's what with many marriages. That's why we deal with many brothers like that. They will come as holy as that. You will see a brother fringes everything. Inside the house, the brother ain't right. The thing he do, he ain't right.
Now, I didn't want to deal with the hypocrite. I'm assuming that these brothers are not hypocrites. Since you put that out there, that maybe some of them may be doing that. Give me a Ecclesiastes 25. Okay, read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
Now, this is a woman who has a lazy, listen. This is not talking about a woman who has a man who's out busting his butt, trying to get work. It ain't talking about that. This is talking about the man that stays home and scratches all day. I'm gonna tell you what some brothers do. You see it, you got two sisters. I'm gonna give you that. You got two sisters. One sister, she loves the Lord. Let's say she's not working. She don't have a job. Then you meet a sister who does not love the Lord, but she got a job, her own house, she got a car. Guess what 9 out of 10 black men choose?
No job.
Nobody knows? Yeah, that second one, the one with the house, the car, and the job. Why? So he can live off her. That's what some brothers do. Read that again, verse 22.
A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
So now you, brother, come in, my wife always mad at me. Yeah, get a job. How about that? Get off your butt. Do something. And this is not talking about a brother that if you are handicapped. I'm not talking about that. Because remember, Tobit, what happened? What did his wife do when he got blind? She went out and got woman's work. So guess what? Tobit married what kind of a woman?
Working woman.
Righteous, industrious woman. She had skills. She brought money home. Some of y'all look for the big button and smile. You know she's dumb. She can't help you in the least bit. But you want her. Now you fall on hard times. You're asking her, can you go out and get a job? She go, oh, I can make it clap. That's all she know how to do. What do you want a wife like that for? She can't help you. Give me that Proverbs 31. Yes.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her.
You know what's amazing about Proverbs 31? Who is teaching this chapter here? Who? Give me Proverbs, read the top of the verse. Verse 1.
Verse 1. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him.
This is his mama. His mother is teaching him this. Lemuel, some books say that this is another nickname they have for Solomon. So his mama is explaining to him Proverbs 31, which works in conjunction with Titus chapter 2, where it says, let the older women teach the young women how to love their husbands and love their children. So Solomon's mother is instructing him here. Verse 10 again.
Verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her.
So you brothers, you want a woman? You got to make sure you trust this woman. Some of y'all get married and you stressed. She's at work. I don't know what she's doing. She's at the water fountain. I saw what she was wearing today. It ain't right. She got a mini skirt on. She's bending over. We heard it all the time. So now the brother's nervous. Because you got that whole type sister. That hoochie mama sister. Go ahead.
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
He ain't worried about nobody taking his plot of land. How about that? Go ahead.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
That's the type of woman. And you sisters, if you ain't like this yet, some of you might be ghetto and grimy. But since you're here, we're assuming you want to get your life right. Some of us have hood ratchet women. A woman that want to punch you in the face, come in the truth, now she don't want to punch you no more. She want to do right. See, they know what I'm talking about up here. But their wives is right now. All praise to the Lord. Read on.
She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
So this woman is industrious. She's able to help the family. Go ahead.
She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens.
Now I know we all want handmaidens, but we ain't got none today. We got to do what we can with what we got. Come on.
She considereth a field, and buyeth it.
So that means she knows how to work good with money. She said, I've been saving this money up. I'm going to get a field, a plot of land. This is what we're going to do. So this type of woman got some smarts. She ain't a hood rat. Y'all brothers understand that?
Yes, sir.
Be careful of that big bunch of smile. That always draw you brothers in. And you don't know you got the devil at home with high heels and lipstick and a crooked weave. Right?
She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good.
Now, some of us come from the South, okay? How many of y'all come from the South? I don't know about y'all. I'm a little bit older than some of y'all, but my family back in North Carolina, they had like 14 kids. But guess what? And things was rough, but they always managed to keep the family together. I used to hate going down to the visit because there was nothing to do down there. Want to play with the animals, mess with the animals down there. But I noticed grandma, granddaddy kept the family together, although there was poverty. Because women today, oh, we ain't got no money. I'm leaving you, nigga. Right?
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff.
This is a woman that makes clothes for the family. I don't know about y'all once again. When I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. I'm third generation hand-me-down clothes. I used to hate that thing. But my mother would make sure the clothes was ironed. They had holes, she sewed them up. We didn't have the best thing, but she kept the family together. Some of y'all don't know nothing about this. Some of you. You ain't seen an example like that. Read.
She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates.
So a woman wants a husband that's known in the gates, meaning what? This is a leader in Israel. Women, believe it or not, like men who have honor and respect. Women like that. Women don't like men when he walks down the street, everybody says, yo, nigga. Move the hell out the way. She don't want to be with a man like that. She want to be with a man who gets honor and respect. You better understand that? That's what she likes. Yeah, that's my man right there. She want to be proud of you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
So that's why when you're learning this Bible, we get honor and respect in this truth, not in the world. Maybe some of us drug dealers and all that, that's not real respect, because they'll sell you out quick and put you in jail. So the honor and respect comes when you come into this truth. Go ahead.
She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant.
So again, Solomon's mom is saying, get a woman with some sense. who knows how to do things, right?
Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
Oh, some of you are scared for your wife to come. I used to tell these brothers when I first met them, what I tell y'all? Bring your wives. Why we got to bring our wives? I said, because your wife is going to tell everything about you. You talk about these brothers come in the name of the Lord, power, honor. Then the wife comes, here she popping gum. Yeah, nigga, we almost out of here. Come on, time to go. I'm like, hey, that's your wife? That's your wife? And the brother be all ashamed. That's what happened. The wife's going to reveal it about you. So that's why in 1 Timothy 3, Peter instructed Timothy to, before you set up a bishop or a deacon, meet their family, meet the wife, meet the kids. It's going to reveal everything about them. Go ahead.
She openeth her mouth with wisdom.
You want a wife who has some wisdom. She don't have to be a rocket scientist, but she got to have a clue about who she is, nation time, the Bible, something, have a clue about what's happening in the news. You're asking her, what is going over there in Iraq? What's Iraq? What is that? You want her to be quiet. Don't ever speak. Go ahead.
And in her tongue is the law of kindness.
You want a kind sister. You want a kind wife that when she speaks, it's kind. Like the sisters I've met here. So, now I always say about women, men too, but I'm going to get on women right now. That's their representative. That's the representative. Behind closed doors, you'll see the real them. That may be the real them today, maybe. But the husbands know, yeah, you put on a good show, honey. Yeah, because you know how to believe that. That's it. You know how to believe that. Good.
Verse 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness.
So she ain't an idle sister sitting around watching BET all day. She's about business. She's about keeping her family together. Go ahead.
Her children arise up and called her blessed.
That's why in my house, all my kids, I say, hey, bless your mama and bless me. Daddy, Most High in Christ bless you. They have to do it. They got to. You want that spirit in your house. Read that again.
Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praiseth her.
And praise your wife when she does good. Praise her. I got a good woman here. Go ahead.
Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all.
Go ahead.
Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain.
Favor is deceitful. That's that flattering tongue. She gonna make you think you look like Denzel Washington. Watch out for that woman. You know you look like buckwheat. You gotta keep it real. You know what you look like. She making you think you got muscles like The Rock. No. And you know you got a body like Fat Albert the Cop. What the hell is this? Go ahead.
Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain.
Right, so if that favor is deceitful as that flattering woman. And beauty is vain because what happens with beauty? It fades. You get old. That's how women, it's going to fade away. Go ahead.
But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised.
See, that's what the Lord is looking for, a woman that feareth the Lord. Go ahead.
Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
And let her own works. So the Most High is about a woman that's about God's work. Now, that's saying the same thing. Give me that 1 Timothy 5.
1 Timothy 5 and verse 14. I will therefore that the younger woman marry, their children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
So that's what the Lord is looking for with these families. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for that. Give me Hebrews 13 and 4. We're almost done. We're almost done.
Book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
Right, read that again.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
The Lord honors marriage. And he's talking about real marriage. He ain't talking about ghetto bootleg marriage, where an Israelite man says to his wife, I'm going to give you a ketubah, sister, and he gives you this. and says we are married. This is unacceptable. This is not what the Lord is talking about. That's not what he's talking about. So you sisters, you get hoodwinked by some of these criminal mind Israelites, shame on you. Because when he passed away, whatever little assets he got goes to his mama or his kids if he got any, and not to you. That happened with, what's his name, the singer? Frankie Lyman. Okay, and a few of them ain't have no papers with the woman, banging her, having kids. They said, no, we want the real wife. The one who had the papers got everything. Okay, you ain't got to pay. You don't even get the man's dead body. The mama get the body. Now she got to deal with it. Now she giving him a Christian burial with Caesar Borgia smiling. Y'all keep playing games. The Lord's about real matters.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.